Hey there, House here. So, since I made all my predictions for the NFL for the regular season and postseason, I thought I'd turn my sights to the NBA. The NBA season is just over 3 weeks, and so far we've had improbable starts, outstanding performances, and player absences due to COVID, injury, or personal reasons. To start the season, it always sets up with predictions on who the best team may be, or who the best player could be. Most would have probably thought that the LA Lakers, who were fresh off of their championship season last year, would be the odds-on favorite for this year. Even though the Lakers currently do have the best record in the NBA right now, they're followed closely behind by the LA Clippers and the surprising Phoenix Suns. The Suns, who were perfect 8-0 during the NBA's restart last year in their bubble format, have been one of the hotter teams to start the season this year. The main reason why is Chris Paul meshing with his new team and teammates. He showed last year that with his leadership, he's able to take a smart team and make them playoff contenders. His points per game so far may be down as compared to the previous seasons, but his assists per game are up. That's because he no longer has to produce on the offensive end as much as he used to with teammates like Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton. This young team with a healthy blend of veterans should make the playoffs and make some noise while doing it. Now, at the start of the season, most would have also guessed that some of the more popular names would have been the top performers this year, like LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, or even James Harden. More on that later. Just to name a few. But the actual top performers of this young season are Bradley Beal and Nikola Jokic. Beal is playing phenomenally for a pretty bad Washington Wizards team that traded for Russell, who also isn't playing as advertised so far and is dealing with an injury. Beal, on the other hand, is doing everything he can to make his team as competitive as possible, from 60-point efforts to averaging 35 points per game while collecting 5 rebounds a game and dishing out 5 assists per game. He's keeping his teammates involved and doing most of the scoring himself. Only time will tell if he gets moved on to a real contender or if he's caught once again in the sinking ship that is the Washington Wizards. Now, the other player I mentioned is Nikola Jokic. He's a big man for the Denver Nuggets. What you may not know is that he's been playing at a pretty high level for a few years now. This year, though, he's playing at an even higher level. He's averaging 24 points per game, which is a career high, 10 assists per game, which is also a career high, and 11 rebounds per game, which again is a career high. If he's able to maintain these kind of stats, he'll do something that only 2 other players in NBA history have done. That's completing a season averaging a triple-double. Those are the 2 players who have done such a thing are Oscar Robertson and Russell Westbrook, who performed this feat 3 times so far. Now, lastly, I couldn't conclude this video without talking about the big trade that took place yesterday between 4 teams. Those 4 teams are the Brooklyn Nets, the Houston Rockets, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Indiana Pacers. Now, the Nets received James Harden. See? Told you I'd get back to him. Anyway, they received James Harden, who is now a part of a newly formed Big Three with Kevin Durant, another former teammate from his Oklahoma City Thunder days, and Kyrie Irving. The Nets also received a 2024 second-round draft pick from the Cavaliers. The Rockets, who gave up James Harden, received Caris LeVert, who's an incredibly talented player for the Nets and a true scorer, Rodion Kuruc, and 7 first-round draft picks, some unprotected and some first-round swaps over the next 7 years from the Nets. The Rockets also received Dante Exum and a 2022 first-round draft pick from the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers received Jared Allen, who is a young, talented big man from the Nets, and Taurean Prince, who is an established veteran who plays hard defense, so he might be able to help them out. There's some speculation that with Cleveland wanting to try to work out some of their younger guys to see who could stay on the team, that Prince might not play a whole bunch, but we'll just have to see how that develops. The Rockets are also going to receive Victor Oladipo from the Pacers for Caris LeVert, who they just received in the trade, and a future second-round draft pick. Did you track all that? Needless to say, there is plenty to digest in this one transaction that altered the future of 4 teams. Did the Nets do enough to make them an instant contender now? Only time will tell. Well, that'll about do it for me here. Thank you for tuning in to the House Report. Stay tuned in as the season progresses to watch these teams and these players continue to play at a high level. And to all my betting friends out there, remember, you'll win some and you'll lose some. but the house always wins.